Good morning, welcome to Okotoks Fire Station 2. My name is Travis Ray, and today we're going to take you on a tour of our engine here. There are 3 firefighters that operate out of this hall, 365 days a year. We have 4 apparatus here at this hall. This behind me is engine 82. It's a 2001 Superior fire engine. We'll seat 5 personnel in it, has an interior pump panel and multiple cabinets for equipment. We'll go through it now. The first seat on this fire engine is the operator's seat. This operator will drive the truck to a call and also run the pump panel in the back that we'll see here shortly. Up in the officer area, you'll see the driving area where he sits. Up top is a bunch of switches for all our emergency lighting. And on the dash is our control for our siren. In the back of the cab here, we have 3 seats for firefighters. So we hop in with our jacket pants on. Once we get into the truck, as we're on the way to a call, we would put our SCBA on over our jacket, put on our waist belt, tighten up the straps. Then we'd be ready once we got there. Once we get to the call, we just pop out and the SCBA is on our back. So our SCBA, self-contained breathing apparatus, is a bottle of air that we can breathe when we're inside of a structure that's filled with fire and smoke. That protects us, allows us to work in there. If we didn't have that, we wouldn't be able to go into the house and perform our duties. As well, back here we have headsets that we will wear so that we can all communicate in the truck. On the way to the call to get the information that we need so that we're ready when we get there. Back here we have our medical equipment for medical calls that we go on. We've got our monitor here, our kit with all our medications and so on, and everything we need for that call. On my left here we have a pump panel. So the driver of the vehicle, once we got to a call, if it was a fire, would come back here and operate this pump panel. They would engage, make sure that we had a water supply coming into the truck and also supplying water out to the attack lines for the crew on scene. So on the outside of the truck, on the driver's side here, behind the cab, we've got 2 attack lines up top here that we can deploy from either side. Once we got to a fire, the firefighters in the back would jump out, and depending on what was going on, would deploy these by just pulling the hoses off, and out they would go to wherever they were headed. Moving down here, we've got a panel here. That is the inner workings of the truck in there. All the mechanical levers inside, that's how they control all the water that is distributed through this truck here. So it's a very important part of the truck, this feature. Moving down, we've got our main inlet that we would hook up to a hydrant that would supply us with our water coming into the truck so that we could flow water out of these lines up here. Down here after the hose, we've got 2 extinguishers. We've got a water extinguisher down here, and then an ABC extinguisher, a multi-purpose fire extinguisher. As well here we've got hanging, this is an extra hydrant key to open up the water on a fire hydrant. Moving back to locker 2. We've got scene lighting here if we need light, say if we're working at night. We have a very important piece here. It's called a RIT bag. This is a bag that firefighters will use to go in and rescue other downed firefighters if something has happened. It has a bottle in it, an extra air bottle, face mask, and a rope that they can tether in outside, and then when they've found the downed firefighter, they can follow back out quickly and get out safely. As well here, we've got a toolbox just with an air chisel and some different components to that. Okay, now we're at the back of the truck. Up top here, carries pike poles. You can see one sticking out there. There's another one that we have in there. This is for pulling down ceiling, roof tiles, and so on. We also have an attic ladder that we carry up there. Just quickly folds out, nice and compact and small. Easy to carry around and get into places. Here's our 4-inch high vol line that we will pull out with our big water that we saw in the other cabinet out to the hydrant. Moving over to the other side, there's smaller hose over here, 65-inch, just another size of hose. Moving down, we got locker 5 here. This contains extra oxygen bottles for our SCBAs that we talked about in the back of the cab. We have wood blocking down there, which is very important for motor vehicle collisions. We'll use that blocking to stabilize the vehicle. We also have an electric fan that we use for positive pressure ventilation in housing. If your house is full of smoke and we need to clear it out, we'll place this in front of the door. Then just a couple items on the outside back here. We've got 2 fire axes and some wrenches mounted to the back of the truck. So in this locker, we have multiple different things in here. Multiple different connections for hose to different size of connections and so on. Moving down, we have in the bottom here, we have our Homoltro for motor vehicle collisions, to getting into vehicles. Most kids and people know them as the jaws of life, used to get into vehicles. These are spreaders. These will spread the doors apart, metal or so on, or whatever we need to do. So in this smaller cabinet here, we just got a couple items. In the bag, we have life jackets for when we're at a water rescue call. In the kit here, we have a decon kit with the COVID-19 going on right now. This kit is for if one of us or another town member gets exposed, we can handle that and properly serve them. As well, on top here, we have a couple dog masks. If your pet might need a little bit of extra oxygen, we can hook those up and give them oxygen. Up top, we have a toolbox just with multiple different tools, hammers, crescent wrenches, that type of thing. We've got some seam tape here to mark off and some duct tape. Moving down, we have bolt cutters in case we need to cut a lock. So this is our STARS kit. This is for landing the air ambulance helicopter that comes out to calls when we need them to fly people to the hospital that are seriously injured. 5 flashing lights that we can set out and set up for STARS if we have to land them. That way they know where they can land safely and be able to fly a patient out if needed. We have a battery-powered combi tool. It has cutters here and spreaders and works off a battery. So we can cut and then spread right there. And last, on the passenger side, we're back to the front of the truck here. This is where the captain or officer will sit that's in charge. From here, they can operate the radio, get all our information from dispatch on what call we're going to and so on. The CAD system there, our call will come through dispatch. It'll pop up on the laptop there. We get details through the CAD system, whether it's a structure fire, a odor investigation, and whatever details that dispatch gets, they'll type in and that'll come through on our CAD system. If you call 911, you want to give the dispatcher all the information you have, and that dispatcher will ask you specific questions, and that way they can provide us with that information that you're giving them.